this is my first YouTube video, and I'm going to show you how to make a St. Patrick's Day wreath. So I have a picture that I want to share with you that's got everything you're going to need. You can turn this into this. I like to have 3 different kinds of greens, different shapes, and different textures. So here we have the big, fat, dark green, and then we have kind of skimpy little spiky greens, and then we have some medium greens that have a little bit of like 2 color texture in them. And then I have one bright set of flowers, and I got these from a department store a long time ago on clearance. So you can get this kind of flowers at the dollar store for pretty cheap. They don't have to be perfect or like the best quality, because you're just going to hang it on your door and it's going to get wind and snowed on. I also have some of this mesh ribbon. This is actually holiday ribbon that I bought on clearance, and I tend to be kind of a thrifty shopper. So if I find something that's on clearance for Christmas that I think I can use year round, then I snap it up right away, because this was Christmas, but it's actually, you could use it any time of year because it's green. Okay, and then so what you're going to need also are some wire, and I usually use real easy to bend wire. It's real thin. I don't know what gauge it is, but it's pretty bendy. You can twist it right around real easily, kind of like twisty tie thickness. I also have a pair of these, I don't know what you call them, little wire snippers. These are a really old pair that I just wore out. I really need a new pair. I like these because they lock, which is nice, so you don't have to worry about pinching yourself when you're not using them. The bad thing is sometimes it locks when you're using it. But they're supposed to be spring-loaded, so when you snip, it'll open up again. Well, these are broken, like I said, because they're worn out. But another thing I like about these is they got a flat tip, so you can pinch things and grab wires and stuff without worrying about cutting it. So anyway, I will show you where I use that. And another thing I like, oops, I don't need that, is a pair of scissors. They don't have to be super sharp. Another thing I like to incorporate is some berries or something like that, just to give it a little more interest. This is going to be kind of a monochromatic wreath because I'm doing mostly greens, but I'm mixing it up with different colors and just different textures. Okay? All right, well, let's get started. I've chosen my little grapevine wreath that I want to use. It's kind of an oval shape, which I think is interesting. And keep in mind that your finished wreath or piece that you're going to hang is not going to be exactly the same size as the foundation. So in other words, you're going to have things sticking out from it, so it's going to be a little wider, or if your base is smaller than you want it, you can put things on the outer edges of it to make it seem wider than it is. Next, I'm going to speed things up a little bit, so I'm going to clip all my flowers and leaves, leaving about a 4-inch stem on each of them.
Next, we're going to start wiring everything into place, starting with the wispy greenery. You can stick the ends of the flowers into the grapevine wreath. You could also use a hot glue gun to do this part, but I prefer to use wire and the grapevine wreath itself as a kind of a substrate to hold the materials, because then you can reuse things if you like, or you can change it before you're finally done. Once you glue things in place, it's kind of a done deal. Once again, I'm going to speed things up so we can get through it in a little less time.
Now I'm going to start placing the sprigs of greenery and flowers into the grapevine wreath. I'm just going to stick them in using the stem of the green or flower. Like we did when we were just arranging the greenery and flowers to see what it would look like, we're alternating around the wreath. Here is the mesh ribbon that we're going to use to give the wreath a little bit of sparkle. And you can make either a bow or you can make sprigs. And I think I'm going to make sprigs for my wreath. So the way we do that is, oopsies, I'm gonna cut kind of like long pieces. Okay, so this is approximately 6 inches. That's 6 inches. Doesn't have to be perfect, but if you have something to lay this down, then it's easier to cut because it tends to curl on you and it's annoying. All right, so I'm just gonna cut. Well, you don't want to use good scissors for this because this will definitely dull your good scissors. So these are my good fabric scissors. Don't use these. All right. So what I'm going to do is I am going to create little sprigs. So we have a little piece of wire, and then we have our ribbon, and there's different ways we can do this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it like this, and then I'm going to lay these on top of each other. So I'm going to take the round this way and then this way, okay? And then I'm going to pinch it in the middle. Oops. And then you can pull it so that it looks kind of like a bow. Okay, just don't pull too hard. So if you take your wire and then you put it in the middle like that, you get your two ends of your wire hanging out, then you can twist it and you got yourself a sprig. All right, so now what you would do is you find a place to put it. And this is actually a little bit bigger than what I wanted. So I think I'm going to make them smaller, so I'm going to take it back apart. I don't want it to look like a bow. And if it's too big, then it kind of looks like a bow. So I'm just going to use one. So you take one 6-inch by half or whatever that was. And then you put your wire like so, and then you bend it over and twist. So that's my sprig. And then I'm going to just kind of randomly place them into the wreath. And I've got that a long enough wire so that it goes all the way to the back side, and then I can wire it, twist it around like so. Okay? And then the ends, I usually just curl these up. Let's push them down. All right, there we go. Now, I'm gonna make some more of these. And I need a bunch more wire. So approximately, maybe, I don't know how many inches of wire is that? 12 inches of wire. Oops. So I'm gonna speed it up so that you can not have to watch me do this. is what it looks like. So yeah, you can take a look. If you like how it looks, fine. If you want to trim some things, that's okay too. This piece right here is a little big, so I'm going to tuck them under. You can twist things outward. Make sure if you want your flowers to be showing, that they're showing. Kind of pull them up a little bit. Make sure your berries are sticking out the way you like them to. And that's almost done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little wire to hang it with on my door. So you could use thicker wire, and sometimes I like to use copper wire that's like a thicker gauge so you can see it. But if you only have one kind and it happens to be this skinny bendy one, then what I like to do is take a bunch of it off and then like quadruple it to whatever thickness you like. So cut one long piece of wire. This one is approximately like 1 yard long. And a trick to measuring 1 yard is to hold the one end by your finger and then the other end to the end of your nose. That's a yard. That's what my grandma taught me. So I do that a lot. Anyway, then you take your wire and you double it up, and then you double it up again. And then you kind of have like a, if you twist it together, you kind of have a thicker, one thick piece of wire. Just kind of twist it until it comes together. There. See? Like that. Hopefully you can see that. So this is the part that you're going to hang. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the end that's the not cut end, the rounded end, and I'm going to put it in here a little bit off to the side from where I want to hang. And just kind of stick it under there so you catch, I don't know, just a handful of the little grapevines. And you want it to come out together, so that's going to be tricky because there's two. Okay, so here we go. So just work with it until you fish both of these two little round edges out, okay? So then take them and then maybe an inch away, stick them back down in. Hopefully you can see. Stick them back down and through. Oops, keep them together. There we go. That's pretty close. All right. All right, so now you've got these two ends that are here. This part right here is what you're going to hang your wreath on. See that? That's the hanger. These ends right here, you're going to wire these together. So you're going to twist them together. That's what I'm going to do next. See that? Like I said, this is my first video, so if you can't see it, I promise I'll get better. And then twist it really nice and tight. Trim off the edges with your wire clipper. And then bend these sharp edges down because you don't want to catch yourself on those. That's what I did with all these edges. I trimmed them and poked them under. So I'm going to actually bend them forward. Kind of make like a curly Q out of it, and then I'm going to just stick that pointy sharp edge underneath. You can also just kind of use your wire cutters to lay it on there. Or pinch it like this. There. All right, so there we go. We have a hanger. Ta-da! We're done with our St. Patrick's Day wreath. Okay, well, I hope you had fun watching me show you how to make this beautiful, relatively monochromatic St. Patrick's Day wreath. I actually had planned to do a Valentine's Day wreath, but I didn't have everything together in time, like my tripod and stuff. And tomorrow's Valentine's Day, so I figured St. Patrick's Day would be a better option for my first YouTube video so people can actually try it. please like the video and subscribe below. I'm going to try to have one video per week. And I'm not just going to do wreaths. I'm going to do an assortment of random crafts. I like to do lots of different things. So I hope that you join me. And like I said, subscribe and like and pass it on. Thank you very much. Have a great day and happy Valentine's Day. And happy St. Patrick's Day.